Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome to another show. We're just doing a little mic check. Hello. Excellent. The mic is hot. Hot. My name is Abraham Walker, and this is Crystal Walker. We make up the Ask A Walker team. This is Where to Live in Northern Virginia, and tonight's show is all about the one-bedroom condos in Arlington, right?
Mm-hmm. At the $400,000 price point.
Right, at the $400,000 price point. We feel like this is a great entry level.
Entry level, yes, definitely.
To the condo market, really the real estate market in general, $400,000, whether it be a townhouse in Fairfax County or a smaller single family in Prince William County. $400,000, in Arlington is going to get you a one-bedroom condo.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to kind of give you an idea of what you can look to purchase in that price range. We know that I guess there are like three different types of people who would even be looking at one-bedroom condos. Mm-hmm. There are first-time home buyers who are interested in starting their home buyer journey. They haven't necessarily started their family building process. Mm-hmm. So it's either one or two individuals. Then we have individuals who are probably young professionals, just moved into the region. They don't want a harsh commute. Mm-hmm. So Arlington is one of the first places that most people will look when it comes to that. And lastly, we have individuals who are downsizing, right? So if you're looking at selling your existing property and you still want to stay local, right? So your kids maybe have already moved out of the area, mm-hmm. or they already have started their lives, but you maybe are in your 50s or early 60s and you want to downsize, right? So mm-hmm. you're looking at a one-bedroom condo and you finally want to see what it's like to live.
City adjacent, because you're still not in the city.
That's true. We also find that the one-bedroom condos in Arlington are great if you don't necessarily want the DC lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. You're really close to DC, so you're a few minutes away, mm-hmm. but you don't want all of the things that come with living in DC. That's what you get with the Arlington condos.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually something we've talked about frequently. Abraham and I plan on moving into a condo when our boys head off to college. And he wants to move to the city and I want to move to Arlington, just because I don't have the desire to have that city life anymore. We already did that when we were younger, when we were first married.
Right. Now, I do want to let you all know that the objective of this is to give you a good starting off point when you're searching for properties in Arlington that fit that one-bedroom condo criteria. Mm-hmm. This isn't going to be all of the condos.
Not at all.
But a lot of the condos we're going to mention in today's video is that they usually have a large number of sales, mm-hmm. large number of sales, relatively
large. Yeah. And the reason we say that is because there are so many condo developments in Arlington. It's really hard to have an all-inclusive list or even to have a large number of sales just because of the sheer number of condominium developments there are in Arlington. So what we have is a nice selection of a few different condominiums that are around that $400,000 price point. Now, keep in mind, you're going to find other developments that have one-bedroom units for less than $400,000. Are in the 300, 200, some 250 range. Those aren't in this video. We're really focusing on like that 400,000 price range. So maybe units that are a few thousand below four, or maybe the low fours. I don't think we have anything over 425 in today's video though.
Yes, and the good news is that condos don't appreciate as much as
as quickly
as mm-hmm. townhouses or single family houses. So I think that this video is probably going to be relative for at least like the next 2 years or so. You can use this video as a great starting point mm-hmm. For your home search. And if you're thinking about starting the home buying process,
then we want you to check out the link down below in the description with our perfect home questionnaire. It's a quick survey with about 4 or 5 questions just about your relocation plans, whether you're relocating, moving to the area, or if you're just moving within Northern Virginia. You'll fill that out and we will set up time for your perfect home consultation where you'll meet with Abraham and we will narrow down what you're looking for.
Excellent. So let's kind of give you an overview of what we're going to be looking at, the condos we're going to be looking at. So we're going to start off this journey. We're talking about the Eclipse, and then we're going to move to 3 condos, condo developments in the Ballston area. And then we're going to give you the taste of suburban living
in Arlington.
At the end with the West Village at Shirlington. All right.
All right. So first up on our list today, we're going to have the Eclipse. As Abraham said, it's going to be in Southern Fairfax. It's actually right next to or near the new Amazon HQ2. So this development is actually going to be a high rise, which we're going to see a lot of in today's video. But it's going to be two buildings, and within those two buildings, they're going to be 221 units, over 11 floors. And what I like most about this building is so on levels 2 through 10, you're going to find condos, but on that lower level, you're going to have a commercial property. And I think the big draw there is the Harris Teeter. There's a 24-hour Harris Teeter on that first level of the building,
Yes.
which means that you can roll on down any time of day. So often I forget, I'm in need of something. I need an onion or something really quickly. You could just roll on downstairs to the supermarket at that location. Now, in addition to the supermarket, there's also a host of amenities that you can expect from most places, a swimming pool, right? But you're also going to have a fitness center. They have various meeting and party rooms, a theater room, playground, and they also have a rooftop patio at this location, as well as a 24-hour concierge service. And then they also, lastly on the list, that we have underground parking, which is a huge issue if you're living in Arlington. Parking is definitely a consideration. Some places are going to have parking spots included. Other places are going to have lot parking. And in other condos, you'll see that you'll be able to lease or purchase a parking spot. So here you're going to have underground parking provided within this building.
So let's just explore the area just a little bit to kind of give you an idea of where you're located at. So this is going to be in that Crystal City National Landing. The most popular thing that's happening over here is Amazon HQ2, which is going to be right near or close to the Pentagon.
Mhm.
So there is so much development going on over here. It is mind-blowing.
Mhm.
The next 10 years, this location, this area will be totally transformed. There are billions of dollars being spent here by different entities. In addition to Amazon spending billions of dollars here, there's also Virginia Tech that's spending billions of dollars here. There's also the metro station.
Speaking of, that's going to be walking distance from the Eclipse once that opens. It's not open yet. It's slated to open later this year.
Yes, and so this is going to be the Eclipse right here, and the metro stop is going to be right over here, right past this, what is now the movie theaters, but this is going to be that Virginia Tech development. And then on the other side of the development, you'll be able to take a bridge over to the metro stop. These are the tracks right here. So let's just kind of give you an idea of what you can expect as far as your commute is concerned. So you're looking at 2 miles to the Pentagon, 5 miles to Capitol Hill, 14 miles to Tyson's Corner, 20 miles to Fort Belvoir, 29 miles to Dulles Airport, and 33 miles to Quantico. Now, you may be wondering, why do we include Quantico, Dulles Airport? Because those are really major employment bases. Now, we don't expect for anyone that's watching this particular video to most likely commute down to Quantico, but it is.
It does happen. Actually, some folks who are stationed at Quantico will have to go up to the Pentagon a few times a month. So there's a chance. Now, chances are you're not going to live out this way, but still useful information nonetheless. Now we're going to take a look at a unit that's sold. That's one of our units that's sold around the average price point for this development. And just to go over those numbers for you guys, the average sales price for a 1-bedroom in the Eclipse was $405,000. The low last year was $393,000, and then the high was $465,000. So we're going to take a look at a unit that sold for $399,000.
This unit is just under 700 square feet at 699 square feet. There is a balcony that's attached to this unit. What I like about this particular unit is that the balcony is attached to the living space and the bedroom. So you get some of that outdoor living from all of the aspects of the unit. So that's a good use of space. You can see in this unit that they've already updated the flooring here as well. And on our list, on the 5 developments we're going to cover, this is going to be the lowest condo fee for all the units. What I think is cool about this particular unit is this development is it has views of the Potomac that are available to all residents. So That's one of the amenities that you can use. Let me get some water.
And so I'll just go on here. So this unit here is about 700 square feet, which is, I guess, kind of middle of the pack when you think about the one bedrooms that we're going to see as far as size. Now, another thing I want to point out is units at the Eclipse, they also offer one bedroom plus a den. This is just a typical or a straight up one bedroom unit, but some of the units do have one bedroom and a den as well. So you'll get a little bit of additional square footage with those units.
Excellent. So the next place we're looking at on our list is Ballston 880.
Ballston 880 is one of 3 units we're going to take a look at in Ballston today. This one actually was an apartment conversion. So this development used to be an apartment complex. It was converted to a condo in the early 2000s. It has 123 units. We're looking at another high rise. So this one is 10 stories tall. I think the biggest draw for this unit, this is going to be one of the lower price condos in that Ballston area. But I think the biggest draw is if you're interested in being kind of in the mix and close to things, you're going to be close to Ballston Quarter, walking distance to a lot of different restaurants and shops, boutiques. I think that's the draw for this area. In addition to that, you're going to have incredible amenities. Although this one doesn't have a rooftop pool, it does have an outdoor pool, fitness center, a theater room, computer and gaming room. They also have security within the building 24 hours, as well as underground parking. And in addition to all that, they also have some communal space, where it's a really great place to meet neighbors and hang out and get to know people in the area. I think one of the things we talk about frequently, we talk about the condos in Arlington, is a lot of times young professionals move into that area, and it's a great place to get to meet your neighbors, which isn't something you necessarily see if you move further out into the suburbs.
Now let's go and explore the area that Ballston 880 is in. Let's see right here. Okay. So what's nice about Ballston 880, as Crystal's already mentioned, it's walkable, right? So I would say that the next 3 condos on our list are going to be the most walkable, and I would say not the few, but one of the benefits of this place is, even though you have underground parking, you don't need it. Like, you could actually live here without a car.
Yeah, car-free living is absolutely an option. I mean, you're close to 2 metros. You're close to the Ballston and the Virginia Square Metro here. So those are both pretty much within walking distance of Ballston 880, which, I mean, that's incredible. I mean, it's nice when you can get it, right? If you can live in North Virginia without a car.
Exactly. And you're only 3 blocks away from Shake Shack, which I don't know if that's a bonus.
It's a bonus for you.
It's a bonus for me. So there's plenty of restaurants. There's plenty of things to do in this area. And you can already see the green spaces on the map.
Yes, walking distance to Quincy Park. So there's a dog park nearby as well. So yeah, absolutely.
So let's look at what our commute times are going to look like. So we're looking at 3.5 miles to the Pentagon, 7 miles to Capitol Hill, 7 miles to Tyson's Corner, 21 miles to Fort Belvoir. Dulles Airport is going to be 22 miles, and then we're 35 miles to Quantico.
All right, now let's take a look at our example property here. So just to go over some numbers really quickly with you. So this unit here actually sold for $420,000, but the average sales price for a 1-bedroom unit was actually $407,000. The low was $350,000. So you're talking about you could even get a 1-bedroom for under $400,000 in this area, and then the high was $499,000. So let's take a look at what you actually get right around that $400,000. This is unit here at $420,000.
Nice little balcony here. I love the fact that you're able to bring some fresh air into your condo unit. Several people during this last little this major event that happened throughout the world, wanted fresh air in their condos. And if you didn't have one of those units that don't have that, you were a little concerned.
Well, actually, and then one thing to point out is these are actually very small balconies here at 880. So it's not really the size where you could actually maybe sit out on the balcony. It's really more you can open up the door and let some fresh air in. Maybe you can get a seat or a small stool, but it's not really large enough to really spend any meaningful time on the balcony.
It's a nice to have, and I think that's what a lot of people were just I guess kind of looking for. Especially if you're going to be doing a lot of people are not working from home than normal, and so if that is a possibility for you, you'll get a little balcony in 880.
Yeah, and like I said, sales price for that one was $420,000, and at the time that it was sold, the condo fees were about $470.
Eastview at Ballston is next on our list.
All right.
This property has a sister called Westview, or a brother, a sibling.
Yes, and just like Ballston 880, Eastview actually used to be an apartment complex, although it wasn't called Eastview at the time. But it actually used to be an apartment complex that was converted around 2005 into a condominium. Now, one thing I will say, this is going to be an older building. This building was actually built in the 1980s, and so a complete renovation was done when it was converted into a condominium. And so within that renovation, everything from the lobby, hallways, all of the units were completely renovated. So what you have is this older building that has really modern amenities. You would never know that it was built in the 1980s. So this is another high rise. It's going to be 10 stories tall, and they have 225 units within the building. Most of them are going to have hardwood floors and granite countertops, and many of the units are going to either have a sunroom or a balcony. Once again, you have the opportunity to have car-free living because you're going to be really close to those metro stops. They're both going to be within walking distance. But if you do have a car, this one also does have garage parking as well. Now, when it comes to amenities, you're going to have a pool and also a hot tub. Pool and hot tub on the roof, along with a grilling area. One cool thing about this development is that although the pool and hot tub close, during the winter season, the grill and patio area are still going to be open. In addition to those outdoor features, they also have a fitness center, a cyber cafe, and a business center within the development as well.
Similar to the other 880 property, 880 Ballston, because this property is located in the smack middle, or really like on the edge of Ballston, you still have access to all of these creature comforts right here. And you're going to have a metro stop that's 2 blocks away from you. So if you're pumping it, you can get to that metro stop in 4 minutes. I did time myself.
Now, what I will say about this one is, although it is kind of in the thick of things, the entrance is on the side street.
Yes.
And so you don't have to necessarily worry about as much noise as if you were on like that main street. If you were on Fairfax or if you were on Wilson, there's going to be so much more noise in those areas. So I think that's kind of nice that it's off to the side just a little bit away from the action.
That's true. As far as your commute, you're looking at 3.5 miles from the Pentagon, 7 miles from Capitol Hill and Tyson's Corner, 21 miles to Fort Belvoir, 22 miles to Dulles Airport, and then 35 miles to Quantico.
All right, and let's take a look at what the prices were like there. So in this development, the average sales price was $390,000. The low was $365,000 for a 1-bedroom, and then the average the high was actually exactly $400,000. So at exactly $400,000, that's how much this unit sold for. Let's take a look at what that looks like.
What I like about this unit, because I did tour a couple of these units last week, they have amazing balconies. They're wide, and also they have these floor to ceiling windows. Like this sliding glass door opens up on both sides, so you get a lot of air coming into your unit. They're really nice.
Now, one thing I noticed is this one doesn't seem to have, or at least the way they have it set up here, it doesn't have a separate dining room. So you have a bigger living room, no separate dining room. So this unit here is about 634 square feet. And most of the units we're looking at 1 bedroom, 1 bath. So that does mean that this is the communal bathroom as well.
This unit will be a little bit on the high end as far as the condo fee at $502,000.
Okay.
What's nice is that all 3 of the units we've seen thus far do have washer and dryers inside the units.
That is a nice touch.
Look at that balcony.
That's a nice size balcony.
Yes. It was. I was quite surprised while touring this particular development.
All right. If you're still with us, if you have any questions or you would like to meet with us to talk about your upcoming move, please check out the link down below in the description for our perfect home questionnaire. You fill that out and we will reach out to you to schedule your perfect home consultation, where you'll have a chance to meet with Abraham and he can answer any questions you have about relocating to the area.
All right, so next up on our list is Alta Vista. This is going to be the last condo development that we look at in the Ballston area.
It's also going to be our last high rise. So this one here is going to be our highest of high rises with 26 floors and 277 units. This is actually, I like this unit or this development just because of the fact that because it's such a tall building, almost anywhere you are, you're going to have incredible views of the Ballston skyline. So this unit here is going to be at the intersection of Fairfax Drive and North Stafford. Now, one thing that's different about this development from any others that we talked about is this one actually has a Hilton Hotel on levels 1 through 7. And so that means there's a hotel there. And so the upper levels are going to be the actual condominium, Alta Vista. Now, one thing some people are concerned about when they hear about that is, will they interact with the hotel guests? And you want it all. Each of them have their own separate lobbies. So the hotel is completely separate from the condominium. Now, one of the selling points of Alta Vista, what I like most about it, probably outside of the views, is the fact that the Ballston Metro stop is you can take the elevator directly from the condo to the Ballston Metro, meaning you never have to leave the building to get to the Metro.
That's true. You can go from your pajamas straight to the Metro.
I wouldn't advise that, but you could go from your front door to the elevator down into to the Metro. I mean, that's kind of clutch, especially when you think about, weather conditions, whether it's rain or snow. You can commute to work without ever having to leave the building.
That's true. Clutch it is.
Now, when it comes to amenities, there's going to be a fitness center within the development. There's also a 24-hour concierge, and they even have an e-lounge, which is kind of like really just like a communal room where there's a full kitchen, lots of seating, and a huge 70-inch television. So that's kind of cool. It actually reminds me of my dorm living days. We have this communal area where people can get together.
Let's look at the building, or let's look at where the building is located at. So Crystal already mentioned that this property does share some of its floors with the Hilton, and the Hilton entrance is right here on this, the entrance that's closest to Fairfax Drive, and then the condominium entrance is closer to 9th Street. Another thing that's nice about this, as Chris already mentioned, you just take the elevator and go straight into the Ballston Metro station. And then you're just a block away from Shake Shack and other restaurants along this little corridor here. There's also a mall right here as well.
Yes, which has a lot of different restaurants because we like to go to Ballston Quarter because that's where that other restaurant we like is.
True Food.
True Foods, yes.
True Food Kitchen. Now, this is going to be the last property or development that we look at in this Ballston area here. And just to give you an idea, this is all of the amenities you have to look at or you have access to as far as parks are concerned. You have this large commercial space here. And then when we zoom out, you can see how close you are to Washington, D.C. So let's look at what you're looking at for commute times. You have your 4 miles to the Pentagon, 7 miles to both Capitol Hill and Tyson's Corner, 22 miles to Fort Belvoir and Dulles, and then 35 miles to Quantico.
Now, when it comes to the cost of the one-bedroom units in this development, you're going to look at about $410,000 on the low end. $368,000 on the low end, $430,000 on the high end, and then right in the middle, the average price is going to be about $410,000. And so we're going to take a look at a unit that's sold right around that average price point. That unit we're looking at actually sold for $406,000.
Beautiful views, right? Just like Crystal mentioned, this property right here has the sunroom. I will say one of the things I guess I dislike about this development, there isn't a balcony. So you do have the sunrooms, which is cool. But if you're looking for a balcony, you'll have to find something else. But then again, this is higher floor living, so a true high rise.
Absolutely. I mean, 26 levels. So that's a pretty tall building. So once again, you are going to have a one bed. This one has a dining area though. So I like that versus some of the other one bedrooms that didn't have separate dining space. Of course, it's all how you configure the space, but this unit is going to be 765 square feet. So I think that's a little bit bigger than that last unit we looked at. This building also is going to be a little on the older side. This one was built in 1989, but as you can see, the unit is renovated or updated.
Yep. You have some updates in this 400,000 price range, so you're not going to be walking into something that just needs a total gut job.
And then the condo fees for this one are about $478,000 for this particular unit at the time of its sale. All right. So as we said in the beginning, we have one for you in case you don't want to be in the thick of things. Maybe you are not interested in being within walking distance to all these restaurants and entertainment options because, with all those entertainment options and restaurants and things, there's traffic, right? So last on our list, we're going to share with you West Village of Shirlington. This is another apartment that was converted into a condominium, but this time we're looking at garden style units. So this isn't a high rise. It's the only garden style development we're looking at, but it's also going to be the largest that we're looking at as well. They have 529 units. Now within here, there are going to be, of course, one bedrooms. They also have two bedrooms and some townhouse style condos as well. But overall, you're looking at 529 units. This one here doesn't have as many amenities as the high rises, but that's to be expected because when you have those high rise buildings, you have one central place to put everything. But they do have a pool as well as a meeting room and some other outdoor meeting spaces within the development. It's going to be much more car dependent than the other areas. We would not call this area walkable at all. Abraham and I joke that it's a lot more suburban.
It is compared to the other opportunities.
Absolutely. There is a shuttle that you can take to the metro from right outside of West Village, Shirlington. But otherwise, you're either taking a bus or a shuttle to get to a metro. You're definitely going to be more car dependent in this area.
So let's take a look at the area. Like Crystal mentioned, this is going to be one of the more car-dependent parts of the Arlington area, right? So you're kind of right outside of the thick of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
the thin of things.
The thin of things, right? And then, but you do have access to a lot of green space here. But you'll see a lot of people jogging right along 4 mile run drive here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it gives you the opportunity to. You're not that far from things, but you do get a little bit more space. So when you come out of your unit, when you're living in some of the high-rise developments, you look up and you just see buildings, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you come out of here, and as you'll see in the example property, you come out, it kind of feels like a homey type of feel.
It does. It definitely feels more homey. And another advantage to this one is I think this is going to be our lowest sales price, our lowest price point. So the average sales price for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath unit was $356,000. On the low end, we were looking at $325,000. And then on the high end, $390,000. So you're not even going to crack $400,000 even on the high end in this development.
It's true. Now, as far as like the location is concerned, you can still see your commute times don't really increase that much by living here.
Mm-hmm.
You're 3.5 miles from the Pentagon, 7 miles to Capitol Hill, 10 miles to Tyson's Corner, 18 miles to Fort Belvoir, 24 miles to Dulles Airport, and then 32 miles to Quantico.
Oh, wow. So really, it's just a few mile difference, like really not much at all.
Absolutely. Let's see here.
All right, so let's take a look at what our example property is going to look like here. We're going to see garden style units this time around. And this one here is located. You can see that there are one level. Well, garden style is 1 to 4 levels. So anywhere on one of these 3 levels.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, it's going to be a much more of a home suburban type of feel here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not really getting that high rise feel. This is also the largest unit on our list at 941 square feet. So you can see this is a lot of space.
Significantly more space,
yes.
For less money. It does feel much more, in my opinion, like a home, mm-hmm. or even it feels more like a townhouse. Honestly, it feels less like an apartment than those other units. But I think that it really depends on if you want to be in the middle of things or not. Right. Because when you look at the price, you're going to pay a little bit less. This is, like I said, this is on closer to the high end. This is $390,000. The condo fees are $349,000, so the condo fees are on the lower end. But you're also going to have fewer amenities, and you're going to be a little bit further away from some of those creature comforts that you're going to be closer to in the Ballston area.
But you still have a great commute.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get more space. Look at that. They have a
walk-in closet. There are no walk-in closets in the 1-bedrooms, at least in the condos that we saw so far. And once again, washer and dryer in the unit.
And look at that. So as you can see, like a little courtyard there. There's even grass, right? We haven't shown you grass yet this entire session.
Best of all, grass you don't have to cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's that community grass, those common areas. All right. So there you have it. We have shown you 5 condos around the $400,000 price point in Arlington. We started off with the Eclipse on on Center Park that is located close to the National Landing area. And then we followed up with 3 units in Ballston 880, Eastview on Ballston, and Alta Vista. And finally, we ended up in the Shirlington area at West Village of Shirlington. So that's going to be just 4 of the places you can find a 1-bedroom condo in that $400,000 price range in Arlington. And if you're watching this and you're all 5 places. Thank you, love. But if you're watching this and you may have noticed there are some parts of Arlington we just did not include. More than likely, you're probably wondering, well, where's Clarendon? Maybe even that courthouse area. And in Clarendon, you're really not going to find anything, even in a 1-bedroom. Even the 1-bedrooms under 400 or right around 400. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to increase your budget a little bit to get into that area. And then in courthouse, you probably will find a few, but more than likely, it's going to be a little bit further off from that main area, and also probably less than the $400,000 price point that we're looking at for this video.
Right. So our goal with this video was to kind of give you an idea of the entry level into the condo market. What could you find? And we wanted to give you research on not just cool buildings, but buildings that actually have some sales every year. Right?
Yes.
There are some buildings that, they're super cool. They look nice on the outside, but if they rarely have any units turning over, then, it doesn't really make sense to include them in this type of video.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to tell you about our next video where we're going to share with you some of those other 1-bedrooms, and that we're thinking $500,000 to $600,000 price range, just to kind of show you maybe your budget's a little bit higher than $400,000. You're still, first time buyer, maybe are just entering the real estate market, but maybe you have a little bit more money to spend. So we'll show you what you can get, and then we'll be able to include some of those other areas, maybe Rosalind, Clarendon, places that we weren't able to include in this video.
That's true. So this is, I think it's a great conversation to have. I mean, we want to diversify some of our content. We know that most of our content has kind of skewed towards suburban living in the Northern Virginia area. We have had a lot of clients that have reached out to us through this channel that have been strictly looking at condos, and we want to make sure that we service those individuals. We do the research on our end, at least give you a good jumping off point, somewhere to start. And now you have one place to go watch this video, share this video with a friend or somebody else who's moving to the area, and they don't have to worry about doing as much research, right? This is
a good jumping off point.
It is. So that's it for us today. If you have any other video ideas for us, post them down below in the comment section. If you are ready to start your journey, your home buying journey, either you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, or invest in real estate, there is a link in the description to the Perfect Home Questionnaire.
Yeah, so fill that out for us. Just maybe like 4 or 5 questions. When you fill that out, we'll reach out and schedule a Perfect Home consultation where Abraham will chat with you about what you're looking for and what your relocation needs are. So be sure to fill that out for us.
Excellent. Well, I think that this was a great show, concise. We didn't go over that much, right? It's only 42 minutes plus a 10-minute intro.
30-minute mark?
Excellent.
Good job.
Excellent. Well, we will see you on the next video. Peace.